Whenever I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the All We Do Is Talk podcast. We are here for our NBA Finals preview and prediction. It's been a long road here, but we're now down to the very end. I'm here joined by Isaiah Harris with the fresh haircut today. How we feeling?
I'm ready for the weekend. Finals, not very excited. Haven't enjoyed the playoffs at all. I'm not going to lie to y'all. But we got Golden State, the Dynasty versus the Celtics, the team that's won, tied for the most championships. Should be a interesting matchup, not the matchup I wanted. Of course, last round, everybody else predicted this matchup for the finals. I was let down by the Heat, who came close.
Yeah, they gave it their best bet.
And as for the Mavs, they
were just they were just a year too early, probably a year too early.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll go ahead and kick this off. Isaiah already gave a little brief preview of last round. What matchup you think? What one-on-one matchup are you most excited for this possible seven-game series?
Andrew Wiggins versus Jaylen Brown.
NBA All-Star starter Andrew Wiggins.
Yes, sir. Of course, I ignored Steph Curry versus Marcus Smart. That should be interesting. DPOY versus the two-time unanimous MVP. You think Marcus Smart will be guarding Steph Curry most of the time?
I think you have to. I think they've been showing the numbers all over the news and media sites today in the last 6 games or the last 5 years. Marcus Smart's held Steph Curry to 30% shooting, less than 30% from 3. He's only averaging about 10 points a game when he's going up against Marcus Smart. So it's been a difficult matchup, and I know this is the finals now. It's kind of hard to just give up game ones like the Celtics been giving up the last couple of rounds, for just being able to
not the first round.
That's a couple of rounds, not the first round, though. The Celtics been able to overcome that, but I think here, right at the gate, I think Marcus Smart will be taking on that assignment.
Yeah, what matchups are you intrigued to watch?
Obviously the Marcus Smart, Steph Curry one is the most intriguing. The DPOY versus one of the 15 greatest players ever. Obviously that's super exciting. But I'm going to go with the old head matchup. Strength on strength, toughness on toughness, and Draymond Green and Al Horford. I think we can expect a highly physical bully ball battle down low and on the perimeter between these two guys. These are the screen setters. They're kind of they can be sometimes the post-up table setters for the offenses as well. They're going to hit the glass. They're going to defend at a high level. They're going to be the physical tone setters for each of their teams and be the physical leaders for their teams. So I think how each of these guys perform for their guys as the third tertiary players, the role players, the fourth best players on the team, I think will be a huge determining factor in who wins.
We've also got a nice bench matchup between Jordan Poole and Derek White.
Yeah.
Derek White, who was terrible the first couple rounds, but after getting a couple starts in place of Marcus Smart, was it just last round? He picked it up. He was actually really good in the Miami series, so it should be interesting to see how the benches play. Otto Porter's nicked up. I don't think Andre Iguodala has.
They said there was a chance he'd come back for this. Haven't heard anything about it. We don't expect Andre Iguodala to make an impact, though.
And the young guys, Pritchard for the Celtics and Williams, if you want to classify him as a young guy, versus Kuminga and Moody, who I don't know how much we'll see of them, but they played a lot. They played a lot when that Dallas series got out of hand. So, nothing left to do now but to pick it.
Not yet. I think we got one more thing to ask, and I think it's about the coaching matchup. I think this would be a really, really interesting. Steve Kerr, 2 former players. Steve Kerr's obviously the experienced guy in the
both from the San Antonio.
Both in the same system. Steve Kerr's in his 6th finals in 8 years. Obviously, Udoka's here for the first time. It's going to be an interesting coach. I think personally that Udoka may have a slight advantage here just because of still the unknown. We still don't really know what kind of coach Udoka is. We know he's really, really strong with defense, but as far as like his offensive system, his game planning, his ability to adjust in game, I still think we're still finding out about him while there's years of tape on Steve Kerr and what he likes to do. They're still playing a very similar style with the same top 3 guys. So if Udoka really is one of these top level coaches, like the last couple guys who've won in their first year, Nick Nurse, Steve Kerr, Ty Lue, he can cause a lot of problems. Not Steve Nash. But if Udoka can find a way to like surprise the Warriors with an adjustment here and there to kind of get them off their toes, that could be the difference that the Celtics need.
Yeah, definitely. I think Steve Kerr is. He's done a great coaching job this year. Golden State's right back at it, healthy and another strong playoff.
The healthier team, probably.
6 out of 8 years in the finals under his tutelage, which is.
That's why he's the top 15 coach ever.
That's Michael Jordan type of ratio right there. So, okay, so now I guess we go ahead and pick. I'm still on the fence, so I'm gonna let you go first to see.
As a Lakers fan, biased Lakers fan, I have to say that up front. This is the worst case scenario finals I could possibly imagine. I haven't really been super excited for it just in terms of who's going to win. But in terms of the matchup, I think we're gotten, I think it's probably the best matchup overall I think we could have ended up with. Obviously, the Chris Middleton injury kind of screwed over the Bucks. Suns choked in the Western Conference. I think we all kind of thought the Warriors were the best team in the Western Conference, if not the second best team.
I picked them to
You picked them
represent the West.
You picked them to come out, so good pick for you as well. Definitely good for the Warriors to be here back in this position. But I think the Warriors are a little older. I think they're a little slower. And I think they're a little worse than the teams that we saw racking up the championships in the mid-2010s. I think no KD this time. I think the Celtics are young and ready to go. I think they're not going to be, even though they've been through back-to-back 7-game series, I don't think fatigue will be a factor. They're all really young. They're really strong on defense. They're really athletic. And I think they're the more battle-tested team throughout the playoffs this year. So it's with a heavy heart that I picked the Celtics to win this series in 6 games. I think they'll be able to close it out at home in the Garden. I think their ability to switch everything 1 through 5 is going to be devastating for the Warriors. Pace and space, ball moving type of team, because they're just going to force them to play more isolation basketball, try to score one-on-one, which Steph can do. Jordan Poole can do a little bit, but really there's no one else on our roster who you're really asking to be a dominant one-on-one player. Are you asking Wiggins to go get buckets for you? Al Horford? It'll be much more tougher for, I think, the Warriors to overcome the Celtics defense and size than it is for the Celtics to be able to deal with the Warriors. Warriors obviously come in more experienced. They're better at closing games, so the Celtics have to be mindful of not choking down the stretch like they've been known to do in some of these matchups. But yeah, I think the Celtics are the better team. I think they're the more battle-tested team. I think it's just their time has come. It seems like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown's time has come. I'll take the Celtics in 6.
Yeah, I'd like to hide my biases. I picked against the Celtics in every single round. And I'm going to do it again.
Hey, nothing wrong with picking against the Celtics on this show. Nothing wrong with it.
I think they have the size matchup. I think they have the mismatch, and Jordan Poole and Steph Curry can't D up like the way Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the top scorers for the Celtics, can. So that's scary for me. But I just think that the Warriors are going to bring the motivation of winning a championship with no asterisks of last time they won a championship without Kevin Durant. It was because LeBron was missing Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving.
Yep.
I think that this motivation and this looking like, Klay Thompson has already suffered 2 major injuries. Who knows how long he's got. Draymond Green went MIA 2 years in a row with questionable injuries. I think it was a back problem or something like that. So who knows how much longer he's got. Steph Curry, he's got replacement ankles in his body already. So we already know about that. I just think this could be their last chance.
It's like the last dance type of moment
with
for them.
the Steph, Dre, and Clay. Like, they could continue on because they've got Moody and Kuminga and Jordan Poole.
Wiseman.
Yeah, Wiseman.
Gotta mention him.
And Kevon Looney. So they got a nice set of young guys, but those guys will probably, if they're winning more, those guys will probably take over. So I'm going to go with Golden State in 6 and hope that they don't make me feel like how the Heat made me feel, how the Bucks made me feel, and how the Nets made me feel picking against the Celtics. I think the Celtics have a good chance. I think it'll be a great series, but Jaylen Brown has struggled with turnovers, so has Jason Tatum.
Yeah, definitely, especially in the fourth quarter.
Golden State's defense, while it isn't amazing man-to-man, their zone defense should give this Boston Celtics team problems. And I think Steph Curry will have one of his best series in the finals of his life. So he better. Because I'm gonna be coming back for you, Steph, if you blow this one.
All right, so I think that's a beautiful transition to the next question. Finals MVP.
Well, Christian is going with Golden State at 6.
All right, so I got our friend Christian, fellow co-host, couldn't make it here today. He's focusing on getting that degree. We're gonna applaud him for that. But Christian went with the Warriors in 6 as well. So I'm going to be sitting on an island. Eric also went with the Warriors. So I am on the sole island of the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, Finals MVP.
If you're picking the Warriors,
the Celtics.
I think the Celtics want to go.
I think you have an easier choice.
Yeah. I think the finals. I think the most valuable player in the series will end up being Marcus Smart. If the Celtics are going to be the winners, because that means Marcus Smart basically took Steph Curry out. His defense.
And Andre Iguodala like Finals MVP?
His defense was the difference, but no, I predict the MVP will be Jason Tatum. He's the best player on the team. He'll be the leading scorer probably in this series, but definitely for the Celtics. I don't think Andrew Wiggins or Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, I don't think those guys individually have a chance of stopping them. And I don't think the Warriors are going to be wanting to be in a position where they have to double team and help a lot on Tatum and let those other guys get going. I think they'll be okay with Tatum just getting his own, but I think it'll be enough. I think Tatum and their defense will be able to do the job. I expect Tatum to be the leading scorer in the series and walk home with the Finals MVP.
Yeah, Christian went with Steph Curry too. They've done Steph
They just robbed him so often.
bad. So to pick him is kind of questionable, but I'm going to go with Klay Thompson.
Okay.
I think if Golden State wins this, they're going to need the Splash Brothers firing on all cylinders. And when Klay Thompson is firing on all cylinders,
They can't be beat.
he's a different type of player. And I think we're going to get at least two 30-plus point performances for Klay Thompson. Those can easily be 30 points in 3 quarters, and we mollywopped them and got up out of there. So I'm going to go with Klay Thompson. Sorry, Steph. I guess it's not meant to be, but we'll see. You guys enjoy the finals.
Hell, you wanna pick tonight's game? You wanna predict the game for tonight? Game 1. Who do you think's gonna who do you think's got the advantage? Golden State's been off for a week. Celtics had 3 days of rest, but they're coming off of Game 7. They're a little more.
I'll take Golden State.
As
They're home.
You think Golden State hold down home court tonight? I think the Celtics gonna have to steal a road game if they're gonna win it in 6. I think with Golden State getting a week off and the Celtics kind of coming in there with the fresh battle mentality, I think they'll steal the game tonight.
I'll take a big game tonight from Draymond Green.
Draymond Green, you think he sets the tone tonight?
Yeah, I think he'll be great at home.
My personal private prop bet tonight was Jaylen Brown 25+ points and the Celtics win. I think I love Klay Thompson. We love Klay Thompson to death, but if he's forced to battle Jaylen Brown 1-on-1, I don't know if he still has the same foot speed and lateral quickness to be able to hold him down the way they need to. So I'll take Jaylen Brown 25+ points in the win.
But yeah, enjoy the series. It's going to be hard for me to enjoy it. It's going to be hard for Moody to enjoy it.
But we'll be watching it anyway.
All right, take it easy.